Forget Hollywood, forget Ryan Reynolds. The most incredible story at Wrexham AFC isn't on the screen, it's being buried beneath the racecourse ground right this very moment. You know the story. One of the world's oldest football clubs, Wrexham AFC, rescued from the brink of extinction by two Hollywood stars. The meteoric rise, the documentaries, the new era of glory. But true glory, the kind that lasts for centuries, isn't built with just money and cameras. It needs a foundation. And that's where the racecourse ground comes in, the stadium that holds the record as the world's oldest international stadium in continuous use. The old Kop stand, which was the soul of the club, had been there since 1952. And it simply couldn't cope any longer. Wrexham's new era demands a temple worthy of its status. A modern Kop with capacity for 7,500 supporters, full accessibility, top-tier safety, and, of course, that unmatched roar from the fans. To build the new, the old had to disappear, or did it? Stick with me, because the next part will reveal the engineering secret that turns the dirt of the past into the strength of the future. For this monumental mission, which demands military precision and historical respect, Wrexham hired P.P. O'Connor, a giant that understands demolition, but primarily regeneration. Their heavy lorries and plant equipment are now a daily presence on Mould Road. Their job isn't simply to smash things up and take them to the tip. They are dealing with colossal volumes. We're talking about tons of concrete, brick, tarmac, and soil accumulated over decades of history. What most people don't know is the level of environmental commitment behind the project. The Wrexham board and P.P. O'Connor agreed on a golden principle that, honestly, should be a model for any major construction in the UK and around the world. Around 95% of all material removed will be recycled or repurposed. Think about that. Nearly everything being taken out of that site, which might otherwise be called demolition rubble, is undergoing a process of metamorphosis. The concrete and the bricks that made up the old structure, they are being crushed, screened, and transformed into new construction aggregates, materials like Type 1 and the famous 6F2, which are essential for creating high-strength subbases. The tarmac and the steel, they are also separated and routed for specific recycling, returning to the industry as raw materials. The crucial point, these recycled materials aren't going to another job site, they are being reintroduced to the very same location. They will form the hidden foundation layer, the bedrock upon which the new, massive steel structure of the Kop will be erected. But there is a challenge. It's impossible to recycle absolutely everything. What happens to the remaining 5% of waste, the finer soil, or the contaminated material? The answer is an environmental twist you have to see. The technical work here is vital. Groundworks involve not just removal, but reshaping and stabilizing the soil. The new Kop needs a perfectly level surface and impeccable drainage to support the weight of 7,500 people and ensure there's no waterlogging during rainy match days. And here's a masterstroke of management: continuity. The same team overseeing the demolition is managing the earthworks, drainage, and final ground preparation. This means fewer delays, less confusion between subcontractors, and a cleaner, more efficient build. It's the same crew who unearthed the past that is preparing the ground for the future, ensuring the planning permission is built on a solid, perfectly balanced base. We've reached the central point of this saga of rebirth. We've talked about the 95% that is recycled and becomes the base, but what about the 5% of waste I mentioned? The bits that can't be crushed or reused. Instead of being dumped in a landfill, where they would spend decades merely taking up space and polluting, these residuals are transported to be converted into energy. They are transformed into heat or electricity. This literally means every single piece of the old Kop stand has a renewed purpose. Wrexham's vision is grand, not just to put up a modern structure, but to do it with an ethos of sustainability that connects the town's proud industrial past with its new global, environmentally conscious era. In what is the most poetic touch of the entire undertaking, the history and memories of the old Kop, the chants and roars that echoed for decades, are not being erased. They are being recycled, crushed, and transformed into the literal and energetic foundation of the new stadium. When the new Kop opens, you won't just be standing on new cement. You'll be standing on living, transformed, and perfectly balanced history, which will support Wrexham for another 100 years. The spirit of the past is, quite literally, sustaining the club's future. That is the real engineering behind the Wrexham dream. If you enjoyed learning this hidden story behind the construction, don't let this information stop here. Subscribe to the channel right now to get the next behind-the-scenes analysis of Wrexham firsthand and keep supporting our content.